This time, I'm travelling up one of the wildest rivers in Britain. The River Dart, stretching for nearly 50 miles from the English Channel on the south coast of Devon, all the way up to the craggy rocks and tors of Dartmoor. It may not be the longest river in the country, but it is arguably one of the most untouched by the modern world. It's one of the loveliest too. And I'm going to be exploring it from sea to source. My journey up the River Dart will take us through some of the most beautiful landscapes in the country. But it's also a journey of romance, history, and tourism. As we venture up the Dart, we'll arrive at Agatha Christie's beloved holiday home, where Poirot discovered a murder in the boathouse. It's very spooky, I think. I'll try my hand at crabbing. Come on, yes. Oh, no! Enjoy a cream tea on a steam train that hugs the river's edge. And finally, I'll reach one of the wildest places in Britain, Dartmoor. Magic. But I'm starting here, at the mouth of the river where the Dart meets the sea, in a very special town. Dartmouth. Sheltered by a steep valley, the river flows and widens through this bustling coastal town, passing the Naval College it's famous for. When you stand and stare, there's just so much going on and there's so much sound. Whether it's little boats chugging across or the gulls screeching overhead. You look over at those houses there and it looks like a Battenberg cake, an explosion of colour. Most exciting of all, I've just seen a seal swimming along here. Really buzzing, isn't it? Fantastic town. But to really appreciate this river, I've come right to the harbour edge because I'm waiting for a lift. That looks like him. By him, I mean local legend and acclaimed seafood restaurateur, Mitch Tonks. I'm going to head out on that boat with Mitch. Quite excited to get on the water. Hey, Mitch.
Hey, Claire, how are you? Welcome aboard.
All right, thank you very much.
Here we go.
Great. Before we head upstream, Mitch has offered to take me right out to the mouth of the Dart, where the river surrenders to the sea. This is so exciting.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah, and just getting out on the water and seeing Dartmouth from the water,
Yeah.
and it's...
It's pretty special, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. As a boy, we would always holiday here. I was always sort of taken in by Dartmouth. It's just got that real kind of welcoming feel.
Yeah.
And the river itself is, you know, central to life here, really. And I think what's really wonderful is you've got two sides to it. So we have Dartmouth on one side, and then over here we have Kingswear.
Lovely.
And then over here you see the crabbers landing. So that boat there, the orange one,
yeah.
that's where all the shellfish is landed. But mainly crab and lobster is what they'll be fishing for.
OK, never been mad for lobster or crab. And
Oh.
Sorry.
You got to have the crab. They are
Okay.
just magnificent.
Before we get to that, coming out here is bringing on an acute case of property envy. There's some very grand houses.
There's this house here that somebody, I think, took over 25, 27 years to build.
So that is a new build.
That is
but
a new build,
It looks
yeah.
medieval.
Yeah.
Wow.
And one stonemason built it all. I mean, it's beautifully crafted.
It looks like a castle.
It does, doesn't it? It looks like it's really blended in.
And did that recently go up for sale?
It was sold earlier this year, I think, yeah.
And what did it sell for?
I think it was advertised about 5.5 million, but whoever bought it has got themselves something truly unique.
Yeah, and the view they get. And so they look across to Dartmouth Castle.
They look across Dartmouth Castle out to sea. Truly, truly wonderful.
Once you're past Dartmouth and Kingswear Castle, the view opens out to something truly spectacular.
So this is it, Claire. We're right at the mouth of the river, and this is where the river really meets the sea.
Look at that. I just can't think of anywhere I'd rather be in the world. It's wonderful.
On a sunny day, you would be hard-pressed to think you were in England. It's just absolutely beautiful.
What is it about the Dart that makes it special?
I love this part of it where you've got, you know, communities on both sides and things happening, but the further up you go, you could be in New Zealand. You know, it's pretty special.
Oh, I'm going to explore all of this.
You're going to love it.
Oh, yeah.
It's really, really great.
But Mitch isn't going to let me leave town without tasting a Dartmouth institution.
This is it, my favourite crab place, and there she is.
Hello, Mitch.
Oh, the famous
Hello.
crab lady.
Nice
Hi.
to meet you.
And you.
Morning, Judith, you all right?
Morning, Mitch.
Now, Mitch has promised me that you're going to convert me to crab, because I'm not...
Definitely.
OK.
It's the best crab meat. Comes in here on the River Dart.
Lovely.
Yes.
Usual,
So,
Judith.
a crab sandwich.
White meat, a little bit of white pepper, white bread.
Yep.
God, there's a lot of crab on there.
Yeah, it's a proper sandwich. Oh, you're going to love it. Right.
Thank you, Judith. Thank you.
That is good.
Oh, to be fair, that is pretty good.
This is one of Dartmouth's hidden gems.
It is.
Thanks, Judith.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers. So what do you think? Have I converted you?
Well, you've definitely helped my experience
You're
of
on the way.
life. I can't believe it. I'm officially a crab convert. But I need to claw myself away from this fascinating town and head upstream. So I'm leaving Dartmouth now, and the Dartmouth Naval College, such an impressive building, but also the place where the Queen first laid eyes upon Prince Philip. They were both very young at the time, but what an extraordinary partnership that was. Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip's love story began here, by the River Dart, as teenagers, when he was training to be a naval officer, and she paid a visit with her father. They were said to have enjoyed raspberries and cream, and a spot of croquet on the captain's lawn. I am now heading upstream to find out more about another queen, the Queen of Crime. I'm following the journey of the River Dart as it heads upstream from Dartmouth towards its source in Dartmoor. Here's an interesting fact I found out recently. The name of the river most likely derives from the old Celtic Devonian language, possibly meaning River of Oaks. And indeed, stretches of the Dart still twist through valleys of ancient oak woodland. On the kayak, you can get really close to the shoreline and appreciate the wildlife. My next stop on this gem of a river is just a few miles north of Dartmouth. This is really nice. The mood completely changes as you head upriver and get to this pearl of a village. It's spelt Dittisham, but the locals call it Ditsham. And this is just quintessentially Devon. Bedded into the banks of the Dart, Ditsham is the kind of place where the rush of modern life is washed away with the gentle tide. You can while away hours watching the boats sail past, or crabbing on the quay. It's meant to be. It's so easy to catch crabs here that even an idiot like me can do it. Famous last words, but really, how hard can crabbing actually be? Now, I never did this as a child, so I might be really, really rubbish. But, like, he's got 15 crabs up there. My sporting background makes me naturally pretty competitive. So if a young boy can catch these cunning crustaceans, then I'm damn sure I can too. Come on, crab. Oh, hello. No, nothing there. Right, go again. Did you throw it out very far or just drop it? Just drop it. Oh, I've definitely got something. Oh, my word, this is so exciting. Then what did you do? Oh, no. Oh, that was rubbish. Oh, hello. Okay, now I've got a massive one here. Oh, come on, yes. Oh, no! Oh, this is getting embarrassing. That was the biggest crab you've ever seen. Right, one last try. Come on, Claire. Okay, I've got someone here. Now then, I'm going to go for a quick one, all right? Look at that. Well done. Thank you, boys. Thank you very much. With a bit of help, this idiot has managed to catch a crab or two. And I'm smart enough to know to quit while I'm ahead and swap crabs for culture. Opposite here, on the other side of the river, is one of the jewels of the Dart. So I need to hop on a ferry. Here's something that hasn't changed for hundreds of years. To get the ferry, you ring the bell. Oh, jeepers, sorry. Sorry, darling, sorry. That delightful and deafening sound summons the ferryman, would you believe? Hi there.
Pleased to meet you.
And you, I'm Claire.
Brilliant, I'm David.
Retired teacher Dave is the current ferryman on the short 2-minute crossing. Though he still finds time to tell some colourful tales of the river.
We're coming up to the anchor stone up here, which is visible at low tide. And that's got a lovely legend. Legend has it that nagging or unfaithful wives were tied to the rock. And then the tide came in.
Yeah, Dave, I've got a bit of an issue with that as a legend, you know.
It was obviously dreamt up by a man.
That is a legend told by a man
Absolutely.
who didn't like his wife.
There's been a ferry here since the Bronze Age, since 4,000 years ago.
So what you're doing is probably one of the most ancient jobs of the lot.
Absolutely.
And they say don't pay the ferryman. I noticed the charges and it's card only.
Yeah.
Tell me about your passion for the Dart. Why do you love this river?
It's because you've got little creeks, you've got little harbours, you've just got countryside, nature and wildlife, and it's perfect. Once you fall in love with the Dart, you can't find anywhere better.
Dave's love for his river is tangible, and he's in good company. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Because one of the most famous women in the world had her heart captured by it too. This is the magnificent Greenway Estate, once the holiday home of the best-selling novelist of all time. A woman outsold by only Shakespeare and the Bible. She sold a staggering 2 billion books globally. Yep, I'm talking about the Queen of Crime, Agatha Christie. How are you?
It's lovely to see you.
Good to see you. I'm meeting Laura Thompson, writer, freelance journalist, and Agatha Christie expert. What a place this is.
I know, isn't it gorgeous?
And there's a holiday home too.
Yes. It was where she came in the summers with the family. They played croquet here. Don't think on this lawn, that would have been interesting. And of course, boating trips on the Dart, which was where she first saw this house, was from the Dart. As a child, she was sailing up the Dart with her beloved mother. And she says in her autobiography, my mother thought this was the most perfect of all the properties on the River Dart. And that would have gone in, and that would have meant a lot to her.
Years later, when Agatha Christie bought Greenway House and all its grounds in 1936, she paid only £6,000, the equivalent of just over £500,000 today. Gosh, it's amazing, isn't it, that we can just walk into her house, her holiday home, exactly as it was.
Yep. Family portraits and all her collecting things and...
With skull, with a frog
Yes,
on it.
that I can't account for.
Whatever that is.
And this is the library. And there's, among other books, there's all Agatha's 66 novels, collections of short stories. She was endlessly creative, ceaselessly creative.
After Dame Agatha died in 1976, Greenway House was passed down to her daughter Rosalind, who lived here until her death in 2004, by which point it had been in the Christie family for more than 60 years. You get the feeling that this is still, and the way it's being kept by the National Trust, very much a family home. You know, I'm desperate to sit on the sofa rather than just lean against it. I want to play the games. I want to eat the chocolates.
Yes, this is how it was. There's a marvellous thing in the dining room. The doorstop is like a snake with a pointy forked tongue, and Agatha nicked her stockings on it, and she was so vexed by that, she put a cork on the tongue, and it's still there. However lovely and splendid it is, it's homely, I think, relaxing.
To Agatha, Greenway wasn't just about the Georgian house. She was also passionate about plants. Such a wild-feeling garden, isn't it?
Yes, it's magical. It's absolutely magical. And then always the beautiful gleam of the river through there.
At the bottom of the garden is a very special place, the boathouse. A place where Agatha Christie and her family spent a lot of time, and also the setting for a murder in one of her books. Gosh, this is a bit dark and creepy.
Oh, it's very spooky, I think. It's odd because she did set a murder in this boathouse, and you would actually think in there, wouldn't you, really?
Yes.
But she didn't really use water that much for murderous purposes.
Right, let's go see where she did have the murder committed.
So this is the upper floor of the boathouse, and this, famously, is where the body of Marlene Tucker, the first victim in Dead Man's Folly, was in here.
Laid across here.
Yes, probably.
The other thing, you know, murder aside, fictional murder.
Yeah.
The other thing that you just see when you come in here is that view. And it is so beautiful.
It's just too magical. She said, I get a kind of pang over its beauty, almost like it was too much to believe that you lived in this dreamlike place.
Yeah.
And it is the river that makes it.
What a view that is. Just perfect. Agatha Christie wrote to her husband Max. She said, I thought sitting there tonight, this really is the loveliest place in the world. It was a place where her brain could regenerate, where she could cogitate, where she could come up with the next big idea. And it works. It makes me want to write a novel. But in the meantime, it makes me want a glass of wine. Luckily for me, my dreams may be answered. As you travel upstream, ancient woods hug the riverbank. It's so green and verdant, and those trees sort of tumbling down to kiss the water's edge. And these days, vineyards are a part of this landscape. A couple of miles from Greenway and up the banks above the River Dart, I've come to explore one of the most celebrated vineyards in the country. Sharpham Wines have been growing grapes and making wine on the banks of the Dart since the early 1980s. They're now based here in Sandridge Barton. Hi there.
Hi, Claire.
Hey, I don't want to interrupt your pruning. My grape guide is head winemaker Duncan. How many vines do you have here?
The vineyards are about 40 acres.
We can see the river in the distance. I mean, does it change the light and the way the sun hits the vineyard?
Massively. So you get this amazing, not only direct light onto the canopy itself, but you get this reflected light that comes up off the river. It also acts as a thermal blanket, so light vineyard regions around the world. You've got sort of the Loire Valley and the Moselle, and those vineyard regions are planted on the banks of the river for a very good reason, and ours is no different. So, should we go on a wine safari? And I'll show you a little bit more about what we have here.
Yeah, that sounds great. Sandridge Barton is unique because this is a grower-producer winery. That means they carry out the full process on site, from hand-picking the grapes all the way to bottling and labelling, a process honed over more than 40 years.
When we trialled the site back in 1982, didn't actually know what varieties would grow in this climate, so literally had to dig a hole, plant an acre of vines, and just see what would happen.
Looking around today, it's clear the experiment was a success. But a wine safari isn't a wine safari without the wine. So Duncan is taking me to a very special location to really drink it all in. What a spot this is. I mean, right over the river. Perfect place for cheese and wine. I've been looking forward to this all day.
So the first one we're going to try is our Blanc de Noir, which means white of black, which means it's white sparkling wine made in the traditional method from the black grape.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you.
So very refreshing, nice and clean,
Yes.
really good fruit in it, all made on the banks of the River Dart.
That tastes like an award-winning sparkling to me. It's passed the Balding taste test.
So alongside with that sparkling wine, this Sycamore goat's cheese, and it's got a really soft, creamy texture to it, and it goes really well with the sparkling wine. Goats graze the banks on the River Dart here.
So I am eating and drinking the River Dart.
You are. The only thing we don't use the river for at the moment is actually transporting the grapes up and down the river, but maybe that's to come.
I think I've got time for one more glass.
We've just entered this into the Wine GB Awards, and it's picked up the best red wine in England and the best still wine in England.
Yeah, be rude not to try. That's really rich. You know what? I could get used to this. This is so lovely, the perfect view. Bit of wine in my hand, which has gone straight to my head. Lovely cheese, which I adore. I could stay here, well, for a week, but I can't because I've got places to go and people to see, so it's full steam ahead to Totnes, where I'll be taking a special riverside journey. Feels like the train is actually travelling on top of the river, going in search of the Dart's cutest residents. Good bit of fish coming. My journey up the River Dart continues. And once I'm past Stoke Gabriel, the river begins to narrow as it snakes and slithers through the Sharpham estate. From its majestic 18th century Palladian villa, there are magnificent views of the Dart below. And then it flows into the pretty town of Totnes. It's here that the river begins to change its character. This is where it stops being tidal and becomes a freshwater river. Totnes is a really charming market town. It won't allow any chains, so all the shops are independent. Until recently, it had its own currency, and the locals used to joke that it should be twinned with Narnia. It's also been referred to as Britain's alternative capital for New Age chic. It may be a town that prides itself on being forward-thinking, but today, to navigate a pretty isolated stretch of river, I'm turning to a mode of transport from the past.
Hello, Claire. And welcome to the South Devon Railway.
Thank you. I understand this next bit of river would be pretty difficult to do either on the water or on foot, so best way by train.
Best way by train, and what's better than a steam train?
Very special. Thank you
There
very
we are.
much.
Do join us.
Thank you. The South Devon Railway has been operating as a heritage railway since 1969. And in the summer months, up to 7 trains a day depart Totnes. We're off and running. It's very smooth. It's largely run by unpaid volunteers, with some 600 of those pitching in to help with the day-to-day running of the railway. That's so many people doing their work for the love of it because they're passionate about steam trains. And the other benefit, obviously, of coming by train, it's not just the view, it's also the fact that they promised me a cream tea. But because we're in Devon and not Cornwall, I need to do this the Devon way. So cream first, lots of it. And I think that makes sense because otherwise, if you don't go cream first, you need to do butter as well. You don't want to do butter as well as cream. Strawberry jam. So, Devon style tea. And this should help soak up that wine. There's a rule in television that you shouldn't eat on camera. I don't think that's a problem as long as you don't try and speak. So I'm not going to speak for the next 20 minutes. I'm just going to eat. The rail line runs from Totnes all the way up to Buckfastleigh and is actually the longest established steam railway in the southwest. The 7 miles of track virtually touches and hugs the course of the river. Gosh, we're so close to the river. There's some people kayaking. Hi! We're so close to it. It feels like the train is actually travelling on top of the river, floating above it. And you get a real sense there's a curve here. The curve in the railway line and how it is constructed to absolutely follow the river. The steam exhaust at the top is where the big sound comes from. That happens as steam escapes under a great deal of pressure. And it's how we get the expression, blowing off steam. I love the way we get clouds of steam coming by. And the noise of it as well, the real through the trees just the other side, our constant companion, the River Dart. It's getting more and more rural as we head inland. You can feel and see it changing. It becomes more overgrown, the river starts to get wilder. It's so lush and green and thick and dense. Half an hour or so later, we're pulling into the station at Buckfastleigh, one of the gateway towns to the wilderness of Dartmoor. As tempting as that is, before I venture straight into the wild, I've got an appointment with some curious, hard-to-spot creatures that I adore. Otters. I didn't manage to see any otters on the River Dart, but I know that they've been here for over 10,000 years, so there is one way of guaranteeing a sighting of at least one. This otter sanctuary on the banks of the river at the edge of Dartmoor has been looking after and rehabilitating otters for 38 years. And it was founded by otter enthusiast David. David, tell me about the setup here, how and why you established it.
Well, a long time ago, this was back in the 80s, we suddenly became aware of the drastic loss of our otters in the wild. And I grew up on the banks of the River Dart, got involved here, set all this up. We do rescue and rehab work, and we provide a lovely visitor centre for people to come along to learn about the otters and let them be aware of what they can maybe do.
How would you describe them as creatures? What's their sort of daily routine and what are they like?
Otters have a period of activity, which for a wild otter would be travelling up and down its territory, foraging, hunting, playing around. Otters love to play. But involved in that, they've got to feed. So once their tummies are full, they think, oh, OK, what we're going to do, have a little rest. And then they get up and do it all again.
As well as rehoming, David and his team also rehabilitate injured and orphaned otters for re-release back into the Dart.
It's a beautiful river, and we've seen the otter population come back. So we have sightings of otters on the river.
Have you seen them in the wild?
I've seen them in the wild. I've seen them on the Dart here. We've had visitors come in from the River Dart to play with our otters who are here. So I've come in of a morning.
Oh, you mean otter visitors?
A wild otter has come in.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. So I've come in the morning and I'm counting them. Oh, where did you come from? And there's been an extra one. So we have to try and catch the visitor very quickly, just popping back from whence he came.
So on you go, back into
Back
your
off you
river.
go.
You've got all that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are utterly adorable. Sorry, couldn't resist. But anyway, it's dinner time. Although for the first time today, I won't be doing the eating, thankfully. Oh, God.
Yeah,
Oh, God. The otters feed on a pungent variety of fish and poultry. All right, sweetheart, there we go. Personally, I preferred that cream tea. Brooke! Brooke doesn't know how rubbish I am at throwing.
Oh,
that was quite good, actually. How much do they eat?
Between half and 3/4 of their body weight every day.
Half and 3/4 of their body weight?
Yeah.
But they stay so sleek.
They're pretty active animals.
Here you go. It's quite lovely to have their habitat, their natural habitat, so close to the sanctuary.
Yeah, so all of the water we get for all of the pools comes straight from the river next to us, so it's all natural for them.
There's something really comforting about knowing that these otters are able to keep their connection to the River Dart. From here, my journey upstream is taking me towards Dartmoor. But as I enter the national park, I'm stopping at a section owned by an historic order of Benedictine monks. Every river needs responsible care, and there's no doubt who the custodian of the river is at this point because it belongs to Buckfast Abbey, which itself as a structure is pretty modern, but as a monastery can trace its presence here 1,000 years back to the reign of King Canute in 1018. So only recently they celebrated their millennium. Over those 1,000 years, the monks living here have developed a deep connection with the River Dart. They see themselves as stewards of the water. And looking after their 2-mile stretch is Aaron. What a place to meet.
Hello, Claire.
Hey.
Welcome.
Thank you.
How are you? Welcome to Buckfast Abbey and the River Dart.
Oh my God, and the power of it here as well.
It's amazing. It's 10% of Devon's rainfall coming down here.
The monastery harnesses the power of the water here to create their own energy. Something they have done for centuries. God, that's a really picturesque spot, isn't it?
Oh, it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Look at the sun coming out and suddenly the light really catching that froth.
It's completely magic, really magic. You can start to see part of the fish pass forming here.
The fish pass was installed in 2021 to replace the old Victorian pool pass.
Originally, when the whole project started, we had a breach effectively happening sort of on this apron here.
So there was a hole in the weir?
Quite a big hole in the weir, and obviously we had to get permission from the Environment Agency to go in, so they recommended a new fish pass. So this is what we created.
So the fish pass, it's like a bypass for,
Yeah,
for the fish?
It's like a bypass and a ladder, effectively. So there's troughs in it, and the fish jump up it as they go. And then they start jumping up, and eventually they come back up here, and then they can get up to the spawning grounds, if you like.
So all this will now last for generations?
I hope so. My children love coming up here. They always dream they're going to see a salmon. For that slight extra cost in the civil engineering we had to do, I think it will pay dividends in the long run for us.
I'm sure it will, and for the fish too, as they head upriver to spawn. What I find very striking about Buckfast Abbey is how they are now custodians of the river, and that's how they see their role, creating and investing in it to make sure the wildlife can continue to thrive. But there are stretches of the Dart that have been left to do as nature intended, and that's what I really want to experience next. I need to go in search of the real wilds of Dartmoor. My journey along the River Dart has brought me to a place that couldn't be more different to the bustling scenes that greeted me at the start. It is one of the great wildernesses in the UK, Dartmoor. I've left Buckfastleigh and the Abbey behind as I follow the course, climbing up into the beauty of the national park. Weaving its way through dense forests and wild woodlands, the riverbanks are a haven rich with wildlife. It's little wonder that families like to escape here to bask in nature. And there's no better place to meet author and wildlife expert Chris Salisbury for a walk on the wild side. Hi. He's a good boy.
Good morning.
Hello, morning.
Hello, Claire. Nice to meet you.
I'm very excited to be here where I feel the Dart is so wild.
This is the wild zone. We're going to do some time travel, Claire, to how Dartmoor would have looked. This has been preserved. We can go for a walk in the wildest place, perhaps in England. It really is like stepping over a threshold and being in prehistoric Britain.
I've got my binoculars, I've got my coffee, I am set.
Come on.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Chris hosts workshops here in this private nature reserve that runs along the river, an area which is in fact an incredibly rare temperate rainforest. Love how the trees have just got that coat of moss. Nestled in isolated pockets like this, temperate rainforests are lush woodlands with mild, damp conditions, perfect for rare plants, as well as remarkable birds, mammals, and insects.
Oh, look. Here's one of our classic woodland species. The ground is moving before our very eyes. Can you see it?
Yeah, everyone's very busy.
Of little critters. This is the wood ant.
And what are
Moving
they-
parts around.
OK, moving what parts? And what are they doing?
Yeah, they're sort of foraging for insects, decaying matter, you know, processing it. I mean, they're incredibly industrious.
They're so strong
They'll carry
as well.
all sorts of things. I think they're fascinating just to sit
Yeah.
by and watch.
Sort of reminds me of the Tube in London and everyone getting on and everyone going off to their different jobs and then swarming back on again in rush hour. And you think we're so far away from that here. I feel so lucky to be here. And this is as healthy as our rivers get. In a nationwide pollution test, the Dart was the only river in the country to come up to standard, which is of course vital for the future of our wildlife. And it's certainly working its magic on me. There is something about walking alongside a river, and it's the hum, the sound of it, but also the smell of this woodland. It lifts me, and I love the way that all of the trees just have this coating of moss. Makes them feel as if they're animals rather than trees, that they've got fur, that they're alive. But Chris isn't done yet, because he's taking me to a curve in the river that is very special to him. Wow.
One of my favourite spots. Spots like these where the river bends and then these great pools are what I mean by time travel. You could lose yourself in everyday time and imagine our ancestors would have sat here with the same view, because this effectively just hasn't changed.
This section feels to me as if the river is passionate. It comes around the corner and you've got that froth and that feeling of energy and the dark coffee colour of the water. You can feel the purity of the air. You can actually feel that start to cleanse your lungs, and it does something to your soul.
Magic.
If I asked you to sum up the Dart in personality and its effect on you, what it makes you think and feel, what would that be?
I mean, I've been in love with this river since I moved here nearly 30 years ago. And the courtship is just ongoing because it's changeable. It's beautiful. I actually feel most alive when I'm on this river. So I owe a debt of gratitude to this river for all of its stories and its remarkable history and my endless, I suppose, love affair with it.
I could sit and stare at the peaty brown richness of the Dart for days and weeks, and I understand what's attracted so many people to this area. So much to do. I've done a lot of it. I've eaten crab sandwiches in Dartmouth. I've eaten a cream tea on a steam train and drunk wine. Cheers. By the banks of the river, but it's not all been about the food and the drink. I've fed otters. Here you go. We've seen wildlife and gone on that amazing walk with Chris. This river may not be the longest that we cover in the series, but it has the greatest rise and fall, and in many ways, it is the most dynamic. The dynamic Dart. I like that. This time, my river adventure has brought me north. And to somewhere a little different to what I'm used to. Britain's rivers flow through some of the most peaceful landscapes. But the mighty Tyne takes me to the heart of a vibrant and modern city. And this is where my journey will begin. This is a river with surprises and delights all the way from sea to source. The Tyne is one of the UK's most iconic and well-known rivers, but if you only associate it with the black and white of Newcastle United and with heavy industry, then think again, because there is so much more to this river than meets the eye. It stretches for 73 miles between the North Sea and the hills of Cumbria and Northumberland, taking in some truly spectacular landscapes. I'll be following the Tyne between the city of Newcastle and its source. Through towns and villages voted some of the best in the country. I am telling you, there must be something in the water. Taking in remarkable Roman ruins.
Jump in, sit in, depends how brave you are.
Oh, it's so cold. And some riverside luxury. I was thinking treehouse, up in a tree, little cabin. I wasn't thinking this. As well as sampling some river-inspired delicacies. Actual mouth-watering happening now, before the Tyne retreats into the hills. But before all that, I have to begin my journey at what is surely this great river's most famous stretch, and its busiest. The Tyne passes through two great cities, Gateshead over there, Newcastle here, or as the Romans called it, Pons Aelius. That's before William the Conqueror came along and built the new castle. Newcastle is the most populated city in the northeast of England, and you can't think of it without imagining the Tyne River. Local legend Jimmy Nail certainly couldn't. He wrote a song about it. And of course, Gazza posed in front of the famous Tyne Bridge when he sang Fog on the Tyne. And that seems like a good place for me to start. When it was built in 1928, the Tyne Bridge was the world's longest single-span bridge. And it went on to inspire others across the globe. But the next exciting chapter for this historic crossing is about to begin. To tell me more, hi there. I'm meeting engineer Pamela. Right. It's an amazing bridge to look at. The structure is unusual, yes?
It is unusual, but iconic. If you'd ask people what they know about Newcastle and Gateshead, they would say the Tyne Bridge.
With its 100th birthday approaching, plans are afoot for a full restoration of the bridge, something Pamela is particularly proud to be overseeing. You work on it now, but this bridge actually played a very key role in your life choices.
Absolutely. This bridge is why I'm a civil engineer. I've always lived in Newcastle and I've always loved this structure. And when I went to university, I took a poster and it was the first thing that I put in my student accommodation of the Tyne Bridge with a lovely sunset. And now I am here. So amazing.
Full circle. Before this exciting restoration gets underway, I'm going somewhere few get to see. Pamela is letting me inside one of the Tyne Bridge's Art Deco towers. Oh my word. Well, I didn't expect it to look like this.
It's a vast space indeed, isn't it?
Yeah, it's huge.
You can feel how it's built. It's like thunder.
It's unlike anything I've ever stood in or heard before.
Yeah.
The towers were originally intended to be used as several floors of warehouse space, but the floors were never installed. Thankfully, there is one way up for the brave. Oh, gosh.
Do you want to go up?
Yeah, one more. Have you done this before?
Nope.
I feel honoured to have permission to be here. This is not an everyday tourist attraction. This is hardcore, this is.
Look at this.
This is great. The climb was certainly worth it. I feel on top of the Tyne. The way the river divides Gateshead from Newcastle, but creates this line through the city. Honestly, this is staggering.
There's not many people that have had this opportunity to have the view that you've had, Claire.
Listen, I'm very, very grateful. I love this. What an exhilarating way to start this adventure and to see the Tyne stretching ahead of me. But being up here makes me want to be back down there, on the river, to see more. If I were coming here as a tourist, I would probably go on a bus tour of Newcastle or a walking tour with a guide. But because we are giving you tales from the riverbank, I need to get out here on the Tyne in a kayak. My companion for this tour of the Tyne is Simon. Yes, paddle power. I'm loving it. This is great. It's very soothing. So do you feel really connected to the river?
Yeah, I'm very proud of this river.
And when you're on the water, you get to discover even more of this city's remarkable bridges. Like this one, the Tyne's newest, with the curious nickname, the Blinking Eye. I love this bridge. It's just a lovely piece of engineering and architecture.
It really is. This is the Millennium Bridge. When it lifts, that's where it starts to look like a blinking eye.
God. Is it the only bridge in the world that does that?
Certainly at the time of its making was the first in the world.
I love the line of it though. I just think it's really classy and, yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, it is an absolutely stunning bridge.
There's a lot of bridge action here. So we've got the Millennium Bridge, the Tyne Bridge. What's the upper one called?
That's the high-level bridge. That's another one of the world's first double-decked. The one in front of it is the Swing Bridge.
In total, there are 7 bridges spanning the Tyne as it flows its way along a mile or so stretch of the river through the city. Out here, away from the traffic and looking up at the sleek skyline, the Tyne really does give you this sense of its enduring presence in the city. But while this might be its most famous stretch, it's just the beginning of my river adventure. And next, I'll be heading out into the countryside to explore the lesser-known Tyne, to a small riverside village that inspired one of the biggest moments in our history. Back in time, this was a thriving industrial community that literally changed the world and continues to inspire its residents today.
What you learn from the river is you need to sometimes just go with the flow. Yeah.
And I'll be getting my waders on as I go in search of a Tyne native. It's lovely feeling that you're in the river, that you're part of it.
Yeah.
I'm exploring the mighty Tyne, a river that might make you think of Newcastle, but goes so much further, as I'm about to discover. Leaving behind the city, 11 miles out, the river stops being tidal. And it's here that it flows into a pretty village. But there's more to it than meets the eye. Back in time, this was a thriving industrial community, along with the River Tyne, that created a series of events that literally changed the world. This place, Wylam, this little town, had some of the most creative, inventive minds of the Industrial Revolution, including the father of the railways himself, George Stephenson. Stephenson was a local engineer born in Wylam in the 18th century. His whitewashed cottage still stands on the banks of the Tyne. Back then, the river was the main route for transporting coal from the mines out to ships, until a team of local engineers began experimenting with a new means of transport, the railway. Stephenson's invention of his steam-powered locomotive changed industry and transport forever. These days, Wylam, with its historic station, is a rather more peaceful commuter village, popular for its proximity to Newcastle. Andy is one of the lucky residents living by the river. Hello, Andy.
Hello.
Good to meet you. All right. Andy, you're a Wylam man. What makes this place special?
There's so many things. For me, the river is central to it, and I think I used to spend quite a lot of time sitting down here, listening to the river, morning, night. All that's helped shape me and make me love it more and more over time.
The really fascinating thing is Wylam, only a tiny village,
Yep.
has been so influential, not just in the history of the country, but of the world.
Yeah. That grouping of characters inventing the first locomotives, it came out of needs must, actually. How do we move the coal? How do we pump the water out of the coal mines to keep them viable? A couple hundred yards that way is the original blacksmith's building where they built those first engines. There's so much history.
Is the term Geordie, is it
interesting
true
one.
that comes from George Stephenson?
That's one of the tales, is that. And I don't think anyone knows the full answer to that.
What's your motto for life? And indeed, what's your catchphrase?
It's such a positive, reinforcing statement of encouragement, and it's where I. You know, the people of the Northeast, there was a lot of very hard jobs, and you'd leave in the morning and you didn't know whether you were going to come back. So where I is such a positive response to that, I think.
Why I? As you stand there and you stare at the river, what does it mean to you?
What you learn from the river is you need to sometimes just go with the flow, and it gets a rhythm and flow with it. So don't fight it. For me, it's a metaphor for life, and you can learn a lot and get wiser in your own life by watching and learning from the river and how it reacts to things. Yeah.
It certainly inspired Andy with his latest venture, a bakery. It's called Big River Bakery.
Yes, it is.
You know, this is your Big River.
Yes, well, it came in the night, actually. It was just in a dream to give it that name. I can hear the river from my bed. I think I do get something from it. I don't know, the white noise, whatever it is. It helps clarity of thought.
Andy had me at the word bakery, but I do have a good reason for wanting to pay it a visit. In the 19th and 20th century, this part of the riverbank was the stomping ground of the working classes. And like tin miners and Cornish pasties, for the coal miners and shipbuilders along here, it was the stotty cake keeping them fed and fueled. Cheap and simple to make from scraps of dough, these flat, dense loaves got their name from the Geordie term to stot, which means to bounce. Traditionally, bakers would bounce their cakes on the floor to check their texture. Now, I'm not a baker, but Andy's partner Gail is.
Right, Claire, we're ready to make stotty cakes today.
Okay. This might actually be baking I can do.
Excellent, yeah.
You know? The recipe is simple. Flour, salt, sugar, yeast, white pepper and water. Oh, wow, it gets thick, really.
It does get thick.
This feels like something I could build a house with.
It probably is.
I'm not kidding. This is taking some elbow grease.
Swirl it round the bowl if you can.
OK.
And then we're going to be kneading it.
Gail's right. This is fun.
What a great thing to make bread.
Yeah. I am not a baker, right? I'm just not a cook. That's really therapeutic. I really like it. And you think the stotty is more than just a bit of bread?
Just a bit of bread. It really is iconic. I think the stotty is all about the hard-working folk of the North East.
Well, that's the hard part done. You're going to grow.
I know, it's like a small child, isn't
Yeah.
it? There you go.
So now they're popped in to prove. It's a fascinating process, and it is like magic. And we've got to check for the all-important bounce.
These are quite bouncy. As you can see, that's where they get the bounce
yeah.
from, aren't they? Yeah, yeah.
We're nearly there. It's time for the oven to work its magic. I'm starting to feel like an actual baker. Come here. Got it. Over you go. There we go. Yeah. Those look so good. Can't wait to try them. Here we go, the finished product.
Excellent. Let's see what you think.
That's really nice.
It's a lovely bread.
My first ever stotty. Proper taste of the thyme, this is.
Taste of the thyme.
Cheers.
Hey, it is, it is. Power to the stotty.
There's nothing quite like food to take you back in time. But as I continue on my journey, signs of the Tyne's industrial past fade, leaving instead a string of very pretty villages along the riverbank. The river has now brought me to the beautiful town of Corbridge, which recently came very near the top of the charts for best staycation place in the UK. I am telling you, there must be something in the water. With a riverside trail to walk and characterful streets, Corbridge is peppered with interesting little shops designed to tempt me in, like this one. Oh, this is beautiful. Baking seems to be a theme in this part of the country. If you're in need of a sugar rush, this is the place to come. Grant's Bakery has quite a reputation around here. Hello.
Hello there.
This is like walking into a gallery, right?
Thank you very much.
It's like a gallery of cakes. It's beautiful.
Yes, I know. We've sold a lot of cakes.
Head baker Andrew's customers included the late Queen. And if it was good enough for Her Majesty, anything for me that would be just sort of manageable, just so I can have a little taste of.
Maybe some of our little biscuits?
Yes, I like a ginger snap.
Would
so
you?
if it's a ginger biscuit, yeah, I love ginger.
Right, okay.
Is that all right?
Yes, yes.
Well, it has been at least an hour since I last ate something.
Yeah. There we are.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And really strong ginger flavour. That's
good.
lovely.
Yeah, good.
Corbridge is so pretty.
It is, it is. It's a lovely town.
And the river runs right through?
It does, yes. Yeah, just over the bridge, right the way through the River Tyne, yes. Beautiful down there.
And when I said there's something in the water here, I meant it, because just west of Corbridge is the historic town of Hexham, often voted the UK's happiest place to live. With a thriving community, lots of green space and a great farmers market, the town is famous for the abbey that's existed here for over 1,300 years. But my next stop on the Tyne, or shall we say in it, is just a few miles west of Hexham. This is a place called Waters Meet, which is particularly renowned for an activity that requires me to wear this natty little outfit. Oh yeah! Yep, me and my waders are going in, because this stretch of the Tyne is said to be the best in the country for salmon fishing. At at the beginning of autumn, you might be lucky to catch the phenomenon of them leaping as they migrate upstream to their spawning grounds.
They're very good, these waders.
Jamie grew up on the Tyne and is one of many keen fishermen in this region. He's offered to give me a lesson, which is brave.
This river is famed for its salmon.
It is. It's not as good as it should be. There's a lot of room for improvement. Average runs at the minute are about 11,000 a year. And to give that some context, if we go back about 150 years, there were 126,000 salmon offered for sale at Newcastle Fish Market in 1873. And that was what was caught in nets on the river, so less than 10% of that returning now. So there's still a lot of work to be done, although it is a very good and very productive salmon river.
How long would you be out here fishing?
Well, when I was a lot younger, it would have been all day, dawn till dusk, but now, family and work commitments, a couple of hours is usually enough for me these days. So.
And what does it do for you?
It just helps you unwind. It's very, you get into the rhythm of casting and fishing, and it's a nice, relaxing hobby. It gets you out and about.
Now, obviously, I'm going to be rubbish at this, because I'm rubbish at most things I try. But talk me through the technique.
So the aim of this first piece of the cast is to get the fly on the end of the line and the leader up above us here. So to do that, we'll just lift the rod straight up like that, and then you make a backward letter C with the tip. So we do that, and then you come back round to make your loop, and then just flick it out like that.
That looks really easy.
It is dead easy when you've been doing it for 30 years.
Exactly. It's dead easy when you can.
And surely I can too. That's can with a forward C.
So I'm going on a
So
C,
you're going
up.
Big C
there.
that way, yeah. And your rod tip comes back to here, and then you come back round up to here to make your loop.
And then I'm flicking out to my tree, yeah?
Yep.
OK.
So if you do a big backward C, that's it. And then you just need to have that rod a bit higher up to start with.
There, there, there. Oh, no, that was rubbish.
Listen, Jamie's got 30 years on me. I will get this.
Did that hit somebody?
Gravel, grass.
Nearly. No balls. I think I'm getting worse.
Truthfully, I've no idea what I'm doing, so I'm going to stop embarrassing myself. But I can't fault my teacher.
You've been very patient, Jamie. It's lovely, though, and it's lovely feeling that you're in the river, that you're part of it.
Yeah.
But the fish are having their own party somewhere else.
So I didn't catch any salmon for my supper, but don't worry. As I continue along the river, I'll be discovering what's on an extravagant menu inspired by the Tyne.
What's Swedish for wonderful?
Fantastic.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Fundamental.
Yeah.
And I'll be indulging in a spa day by the river, Roman style.
Bathing was a really essential way of life for the Romans. Jump in, sit in, depends how brave you are.
Oh, it's so
and that's
cold.
meant to be really, really good for your circulation and probably, yeah.
I've been following the Tyne all the way from Newcastle, and now the river has reached a natural point of change. At Water's Meet, it divides into two separate tributaries, the North and South Tyne. I'm staying north, which brings me to the riverside village of Wall. And here we find a Michelin-starred restaurant that celebrates the food of the river with a twist. Think Scandinavia meets the Tyne, and you have Hjemme.
Hello, how are you going? Nice to see you.
Oh, my God.
Owners Ali and Alex have allowed me a sneaky taster of today's menu ahead of the diners.
Tell me about the meaning then of Hjemme.
So it means home in Scandinavian, and then same in Northumberland, where you say gan hjem, which also means home.
Yeah, so it kind of fitted for Alex being Swedish and myself being from Northumberland.
Well, you have here some ingredients.
Yeah. You know, like different parts from the river, you know, so you got like wild garlic is like picked down by the river, and then obviously the rainbow trout is from the river.
Talk about locally river sourced. Great, so what are you going to make?
So we have the rainbow trout, which then obviously is filleted down, and a little bit of salt. And what we do, we burn the skin to get the skin off the actual fish. If you've done it right, you should just be able to peel off the...
Oh, yay.
Like this.
That's nice.
And there you go. We slice him. So the idea is like you have like a nice little fresh cucumber salad. Green beans. The fish. Just try to put it in the middle, like that, something like this. Looks pretty. We have a sauce which is made of like almonds and a little bit of garlic.
Actual mouth-watering happening now.
And then we have some borage flowers, taste a little bit like oysters, which is quite nice, like that. And here's the dish.
Wow.
Rainbow trout, cucumbers, and green beans.
Amazing, really, what you can find on a riverbank forage. So you're going to try and get everything together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
I want to fully appreciate it before I say anything. That is amazing.
Wow. Perfect.
But my river-themed culinary journey isn't done yet.
Yeah. Oh, steps from the river. The leg of the grouse.
Yes.
That we cover in hazelnuts that we pick by the river too. We're then finishing off with wild garlic that we picked by the river.
Okay.
And a little bit of chives.
It's like watching a magician at work.
Yeah, that's the dish.
It's grouse à la thyme.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yes. Yes. You're welcome. What's Swedish for wonderful?
Fantastic.
It's fantastic. Fantabulous. But for Ali, the river here provides more than just culinary inspiration. How much does the river influence what you do, who you are, how you feel?
Growing up in Northumberland, the Tyne's always been very, central to our childhood, what we did. You know, we used to fish for minnows with jam jars on shoelaces. It's just a lovely thing to know is always there. And I think whenever I go across the Tyne, you always think, oof, it's okay, I'm home.
Well, I am hugely enjoying grouse à la thyme.
Always the river. Yeah.
I'm leaving this part of the Tyne feeling fully satisfied and with a smile on my face. I know it's called yem, and I know that means home, and it is very homely, but I'd just call it yum. Works. Now, the name of this village, Wall, definitely gives a big clue about what else can be seen along parts of the River Tyne. This is where the Romans built the Great Hadrian's Wall almost 2,000 years ago, a 73-mile-long boundary dividing Roman Britannia and unconquered Scotland to the north. And nearby, next to the river, is one of the most visited places along Hadrian's Wall. The North Tyne passes by one of the best preserved Roman sites anywhere in the country that gives us a real insight into how they lived with the river at the very heart of their existence. This is Chester's Roman fort, which would have been a base for 500 soldiers, and its position proves how vital the river was. As we know from their road building, the Romans loved transport. What could be better than a river to bring in supplies, to bring in men as well, to protect this northwestern border of the Roman Empire that was here for 300 years? But as busy as the Romans were, what this site reveals is what they also made time for: riverside relaxation. And they did it rather lavishly. Because the fort remains include a bathhouse, showing how they made full use of the fresh North Tyne water.
So this was the fort bathhouse. The soldiers would have come in to here, which is the change room or the apoditorium.
All will become clearer, because I'm meeting curator Francis for a spa day, of sorts. This is an amazingly well-preserved and detailed expanse of baths.
Yes, it's the best preserved military bathhouse in Roman Britain, and we're really proud to have it here at Chester's.
And sited here with view of the river.
Yeah, perfect position. The Romans were sensible, so they'd bring in the water from the river, put it through the baths, and the baths would flush the toilets out into the river. So very economical. Bathing was a really essential way of life for the Romans. They expected to have wine, olive oil, and a bath, you know, the central things to Roman life. So every fort has a bathhouse, it's just ours is amazingly well preserved.
Well, there's only one way to experience relaxing Roman style, and that's to follow in a centurion's footsteps. So you come in, you take your clothes off, you put them in your locker, you put in the code that you always use, and then?
Then you walk this way, and you decide if you're going hot or cold first.
OK, I want to go hot first.
OK, so we'll go right here. So through to here. This would be the hottest room because it's closest to the furnace that's been stoked. Hot air is coming underneath us. We're on a raised floor.
So you're sitting on a bench in here. Are you thwacking yourself with a birch?
No, you're probably coating yourself in olive oil and then peeling it off with a strigil, and that takes the dirt and the grease off your skin. And then go through here, and then this is not quite as hot. So it's still a dry heat room, and you maybe just start to acclimatise yourself a little bit, you know, come a bit down. Then you've got to decide, are you going in the cold plunge pool or not?
Yes.
Yeah.
Would I be that brave in real life? Probably not.
Jump in, sit in, depends how brave you are.
It's so
and that's
cold.
meant to be really, really good for your circulation and probably, yeah. Then you might get out and go and do a bit of exercise.
So now I'm feeling really invigorated and clean.
Yes.
To literally walk in their footsteps, I really get the gist of the Roman bathhouse experience. And who wouldn't want to relax here? It's an amazing place, this. As well as being strategically important, it's also just a really beautiful spot.
It is. I think it's a lot more peaceful now than it would have been when the Romans were here, so we should enjoy it.
I think the Romans were onto something when they chose the river as a spot to unwind, and I'm not the only one. As the North Tyne section of the river continues, it flows deep into the Northumberland National Park. This stretch of river feels untouched by time. There's not a house to be seen. But for around 3 miles, the river runs through the grounds of a stately home called Hesley-side Hall. The house has been the ancestral home of the Charlton family for 680 years. But while this is a very grand way to sit and gaze at the river views, it's actually quite modern compared to the castle that once stood here. Peter, what a place to live, but an amazing history behind this.
It's an extraordinary history.
And with his family, Hesley-side's latest occupant, Peter, has continued the legacy of modernising things here.
My son decided it would be a good idea to build shepherd's huts and tree houses. It's like something from Disney World.
Is it? Have you stayed in them?
Certainly not.
Why would I stay in them? I live here. I'll reserve judgment until I've seen more of these riverside retreats. Among the offering, there's a woodland watchtower. And this treehouse, which looks like it's straight from the pages of a fairy tale. I was thinking treehouse, up in a tree, little cabin. I wasn't thinking this. That's like a Swiss chalet. That is fantastic. Call me Goldilocks, I'm going in. Oh, hello. This is great. Oh, hello. Here's the master suite. And it's circular. Honestly, the quality of the woodwork, the carpentry is just lovely. It's great. This is the bathroom. Oh
You've got a shower with a view and... It's my favourite. You've got a loo with a view. Sit on the loo, have a view. Oh, yeah. I might just stay in here and see if anyone notices that I'm missing. I think you better go now. Don't worry, I'll be with you again soon. Because next, I'm following the Tyne even deeper into the wilds, where I'll be discovering a feat of engineering. So essentially, the life of the North East is dependent on this.
Yeah, it is.
That received the royal seal of approval.
The Queen came to the valley and she pressed the button.
Did you meet her?
We did, yeah.
And I'll be treated to a surprise sighting on the water.
Is that one there?
Yes.
How lucky are we?
Yeah, I know,
Hey?
fantastic.
I've been following the flow of the River Tyne. And when I compare where I started in the throng of Newcastle to where the north section of the river has brought me, well, it's quite a change. Northumberland is the least populated county in England, and here in Kielder, it shows.
This is a haven for wildlife, for outdoor adventurers, for lovers of the stars. There are so few lights, artificial lights around here, so few houses, that this is now designated as the International Dark Sky Park.
Kielder has the largest man-made forest in England, and a part of the North River Tyne is the Kielder Reservoir.
Right on the edge of it, this is the largest man-made reservoir in Northern Europe. It holds enough water to give every single person on the planet 7 gallons of the stuff. And if you want to run or cycle around the shoreline, it's about 26 miles.
That's a marathon, which is a good adjective for the effort I imagine it took to build the reservoir. Jonty grew up near here and has worked on Kielder water all his life.
Jonty, this is a vast, man-made area of water. How big is it?
So, surface area, around about 3,000 acres.
How much does that hold?
It's roughly about 44 billion gallons, so it is vast. It supplies nearly 80% of the northeast with drinking water, if we wanted to.
So, essentially, the life of the northeast is dependent on this.
Yeah, it is.
It's an amazing feat of engineering and imagination, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And Kielder was really the only place to build a reservoir, and it was a very, very shallow valley, which meant it had a huge storage capacity.
And when it was officially opened, was that a pretty grand occasion?
Yeah, it was. So back in May 1982, the Queen came to the valley and she pressed the button, which then opened the valves here at Kielder.
Did you meet her?
We did, yeah. So I was a Kielder scout, and we were asked to just paddle around in the bay, and when she arrived, we were to come in and form a line and meet her as she raised the flag.
Did you bow?
We did, yes. We all bowed. So for everyone involved, in a small place like Kielder, it was a massive, massive day, yeah.
What would you say the attraction is? You're here every day. What would you say about this part of the country?
It is the peace and tranquility, which you rarely find in places these days.
And that is not all that's unique about Kielder. The waters here are helping one precious species to survive: the osprey. These majestic birds of prey were extinct in England and Wales in the 1800s. Now, their numbers in Kielder are once again on the rise. To find out more, and we hope for a glimpse, I'm getting out on the water with local expert Joanna. Joanna and I are heading out into the middle of the water on a boat actually called the Osprey. And on your screen here, you've got a live camera on a nest.
Yeah. Here we've got one of the 3 youngsters on that nest. The male or the female are both hunting at the moment. When they bring in the fish, there'll be a real scrabble for it.
Oh, so the parents are still feeding them?
Yeah, that's right. They don't hunt for themselves until they head off on migration.
It's the abundance of fish in the water here that is tempting the osprey to Kielder.
They've got this beautiful white-tipped wings and a hooked, sharp bill.
Yeah, that's right. The talon is to tear off chunks of fish. Ospreys are specialist fish eaters, so they wouldn't eat a rabbit, for instance, or something like that. They might try and get toads or, you know, some other... It looks like a fish. Yeah, oh, look. Yeah.
So is that Mum or Dad bringing back a fish?
That's Dad bringing a fish.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'll get you that.
Look at also the strength of Dad's legs.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, they can carry their weight in fish. And he's a really good hunter, so is the female, where they bring in these big rainbow trout.
I was not expecting that.
That was amazing seeing that, and Father bringing in breakfast.
And what a treat to be able to watch these magnificent birds in the wild.
Scanning the skies. Is that one there?
Yes.
Oh, he's really close now. How lucky are we?
Yeah, I know,
Hey?
fantastic. You're bringing good luck there.
That's not a second one, is it?
Yeah, there's a... Claire. Can you come out every day?
That is the second one,
Yeah, there's
isn't
a second osprey over there now.
I am feeling like we've been really lucky this morning to see that live feeding and, you know, now to see one hunting. That was so exciting, the combination of seeing the nest live on the feed and then seeing the male out there hunting to get that fish that then he brought back to the chicks. I loved that. And it's wild and windy, but it's worth it.
I've so loved exploring this dramatically different river.
And I'm struck over my time on the Tyne by the beauty of the wildlife. I fished for salmon unsuccessfully. Oh no, that was rubbish. I've tasted stotty, which was delicious. Proper taste of the Tyne, this is. I've kayaked on the river through the city. I'm loving it. And I'm really touched by the history of the place, its connection with the Romans, its industrial past, by the fact that people today want to protect it so much for the future, and how much the river is part of their identity. It runs through the landscape, but it runs through their soul as well.
This time, I'm exploring a personal favourite of mine.
If I were doing a top of the pops of English rivers, to be honest, the River Wharfe would be in my top 3. I love it.
If you're a fan of all creatures great and small like me, you'll instantly recognise this glorious landscape. The Yorkshire Dales is Heriot country, and the glorious wharf runs right through the heart of it. My journey along the River Wharfe will flow through the very best of Yorkshire. Chocolate box villages, past rolling hills and dry stone walls. I'll be cozying up under canvas by the riverside.
Looking out of that door, straight to the river flowing by. Just gorgeous.
Experiencing the extraordinary Bolton Abbey estate.
Now this is spectacular.
I'll discover one of the most dangerous stretches of river in the country.
It's quite scary and magical.
Before being serenaded in wonderful Wetherby.
Fantastic.
I can't wait. But I'm starting my River Wharfe adventure here in the picture postcard village of Hubberholme. High up in the Dales and quintessentially Yorkshire.
It's just 4 miles from the source and is one of the first villages the river runs through. I've become really curious about the name Hubba Home because it sounds like, you know, bubbling, doesn't it? And you think, oh, well, that's why, hubba, 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 bubble, bubble. It's actually to do with Hubba the Berserker, who was a Viking chief. Not quite so peaceful. The village has come a long way since its Viking days. Hubba Home today is tranquil. And this is the perfect, idyllic Yorkshire village. There's an energy that the river creates, I think feeds the brain, and you can understand why great writers would want to be in this environment and then put pen to paper. In fact, the playwright J.B. Priestley, who wrote the famous film and play An Inspector Calls, was a regular in the pub. He called Hubba Home one of the smallest and pleasantest places in the world. And his ashes are scattered in the churchyard. But it's time to move on and head downstream, where the river flows through the pretty village of Kettlewell, a place with a strange claim to fame. This time of year, they have a very unusual tourist attraction because you find these characters made of straw, attached to drain pipes, leaning on houses, sitting on park benches. They're everywhere. I've come to meet villager Claire Blakey-Williams. Oh, what a spot! Isn't this lovely with the river running here?
It really is, yeah.
And I'm hoping she can answer the question, why all the scarecrows?
So the Scarecrow Festival started about 1994, and basically it was to raise funds for the village school. And then it's just grown, and now we have thousands coming.
In fact, 15,000 flock to the village every summer on the hunt for these curious displays.
I think it's To Me To You, To Me To You.
Oh, Chuckle Brothers.
Chuckle Brothers, that's it, yeah.
Is it just me, or are these all off the TV? That's just great.
And there's 3 characters on the bench that you'll recognise, I'm sure. You got them? Last of the
summer wine. OK, yes. Should have got that. It is quite a spectacle. Wow. But I'm slightly relieved I didn't see myself on the trail. But if scarecrows aren't your thing, keep following the riverbank for a walk on the wild side. This section here is known as the stepping stones. In theory, you can walk across, but with the river flowing as full as it is, I'm not going to take it on because I can't walk on water, despite popular opinion. Along here, you're likely to spot an abundance of wildlife, treating this river like home. As it flows into my next stop, Kilnsey, in the heart of Wharfdale. It's home to the magnificent Kilnsey Park Estate, the custodians of this 2-mile stretch of river for centuries. Jamie, what a spot.
Fantastic, isn't it? It's been the backdrop to my life, this river. I love it.
Someone who's seen this river and its banks change over the years is owner Jamie.
My family's been here since 1911. I'm very happy that not only do I live and work beside the river, but I help to care for it as well. It's been a great privilege in my life to see otters come back. When I was a boy, we didn't have otters here. We now have otters coming back up the river.
And what about red squirrels?
Mum started breeding red squirrels in captivity here about 30-odd years ago. We're luckily starting to see more red squirrels in the area. My mum used to keep one. There was one she had that she kept in a slipper beside her bed because it was kicked out of the nest.
And did that red squirrel have a name?
He was called Tufty.
Oh.
He was quite a pet, but he ended up living out in the forest again, so that was good.
But the lake on this estate is also a haven for fishing, fed by a spring that flows into the wharf.
We have hundreds of people coming every week here to learn fishing. Anybody can have a go, and we pretty much guarantee you're going to be able to catch a fish.
I think the thing is he doesn't know me. It does sound easy enough, so here we go.
You're trying to get as much line out as you can.
Right.
You're sort of bringing it slowly back in, and you're watching for that moment that you get a slight tug on the line.
Okay.
And then at that point, you're going to go like that.
So simple, so easy. Watch I don't hit you in the face, OK?
OK.
Whoa!
Careful to fall now.
Well, that would be one way to catch them. Now, I am assured this lake is full of farmed trout. Come on, baby. Any takers? Come on, get on the end there. No? They're right there, Jamie.
No,
they are
they're
right
circling.
there. If at first you don't succeed... Right, this is it. Try again. I understand the peacefulness of it, the mindfulness of it. Oh, balls. But it's quite frustrating. Especially when everyone else is just reeling them in. Oh, my word.
Fish.
Oh, yeah. He's caught one, he's caught one. Basically, everyone else has caught one. Then, just as I'm about to give up... Oh, hello. Oh, my God! Come here! God, he's fighting. Come on. I'm going to catch myself a whopper. It's heavy. Jeepers. Oh. Oh, no. The line broke.
Never mind.
Oh, no. I don't think fishing is my forte. Eating fish, on the other hand, now that is something I excel at. And excitingly, there's a smokery on site here. Whoa. Cured first in brine, this trout is then infused with oak, applewood, herbs and spices in an oven for 4 hours.
You really get that smokiness,
Yeah, I like smoked trout. I have to say, I think I like it better than smoked salmon. Hint, hint, Jamie? So now I get to taste the fruits of our labours if we'd done any labour and actually caught a fish. But this has been smoked.
Taste the smokiness.
And the
and
apple.
oak wood.
I can taste apple.
Perfect.
That is really good. And while I might be rubbish at trying to catch them, I can certainly eat them.
Cheers.
Oh, yeah. I'm ready for a lie down after that, which is exactly what I'll be getting next on the riverbank. Oh, that's nice. Oh, yeah. Before I get friendly with a Yorkshire favourite, ferrets.
They've got very distinctive smell. Can you smell it?
Oh, I can smell. I've left Kilnsey. And I'm heading downriver as the wharf winds its way through the gorgeous Yorkshire countryside. The wharf is one of my favourite stretches of water. It's what's known as a spate river, which means it's fed by water that runs off the moors. Because of its fast flow, waterfalls are a frequent feature, some of them spectacular. This is Linton Falls, and as well as being magnificent and majestic to look at, it generates a lot of power. Used to go through an old textile mill, that now long gone, but still it is used for a local hydroelectric plant, so it literally lights up this area. One of the villages likely benefiting from the power of the water here is Grassington, sitting just above Linton Falls. It might look familiar. That's because we're in the territory of the hugely popular series All Creatures Great and Small. Grassington is in fact the setting for the fictional village of Darrowby. For each series filmed, the local businesses find their shop fronts transported back to the 1930s. From the local pub getting into character as the Drover's Arms, and the bookshop transforming into Endleby's Groceries. Grassington offers a wonderful hit of Yorkshire life. But just a bit further downriver is my next stop, the idyllic village of Burnsall. It was originally a Viking settlement. You can see why they picked it, for the bend in the river, for the protection of the hills above, the south-facing village green, a grassy beach that's enjoyed by kids playing cricket and football, adults sitting and soaking up the sun, dogs and ducks alike.
It's got a really relaxed holiday vibe here. So I'm not surprised to discover that the riverbank is home to one bustling riverside campsite.
Now, I've got to be completely honest with you, because we're friends now, and I like the outdoors, and I don't mind bad weather, and I can cope with a lot of things. I'm pretty roughy-tufty, but I've always been a terrible snob about camping. I just, always thought I'd like to sleep in a bed.
Mason's campsite sits directly on the riverbank, and it's looking pretty busy. Clearly, the hardcore campers love it.
So I need to find out what is great about camping, and you look like the sort of people who can tell me.
Just getting away from it all, fresh air, yeah, waking up in the outdoors. And we love this river, and we know there's good swimming spots.
If you met someone who didn't like camping, what would you say to them to persuade them to give it a go?
Go when the sun's shining. Don't go when it's raining.
Right.
These are all good points, well made.
I was going to come and say hello, is that all right? Hello, Rolo. So what do you think is the best thing about staying here?
Getting to sleep outside in the fresh air without sitting indoors with central heating.
And who do you think enjoys the holiday most of all?
The dog.
The dog does, exactly.
These campers are persuasive, but it'll take more to part me from my home comforts.
What a spot for a campsite.
Yeah, it's always been a really, really popular spot.
Let's leave it to campsite manager Lucy.
It really is a huge draw that we are literally on the side of the river.
The other advantages of camping, run me through them.
It's the beauty of the great outdoors. We believe you should be listening to that beautiful sound of the river, the birds, the sheep, everything that's natural.
My issue with camping has always been the lack of a bed. But I notice you've got some really fancy glamping pods.
Yes. So we've got full king-size bed, log-burning stove, electricity, you've got all your cooking utensils, crockery, cutlery, everything.
And you've got running water.
And you've got running water.
Just there.
Yeah.
It's perfect. Yeah. Could I have a look at one of the little glamping pods?
Absolutely, you can.
Now we're talking. This is much more up my street.
Oh, I like this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, here you go.
Oh, this is fantastic. Proper bed.
Proper king-size bed.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, yeah.
And you can have the crackling of the log-burning stove in here.
Oh, it's nice. That's the best bit, right? Lying here, looking out of that door, straight to the river flowing by. It's just gorgeous. I've got a whole new idea now of camping.
And you can also go up the road to my favourite pub in the whole world, the Craven Arms.
Oh.
A 2-minute walk up the road.
Oh, fantastic.
So it's perfect.
I'll just have a nap and then I'll head there, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Quick 40-minute power nap. Got to get on, though, because the pub is calling, and by all accounts, it's a legendary local.
So everywhere I've been, people have said, you must go to the Craven Arms. I've gone to the Craven Arms. Is that a place? They said it's a place and it's a pub. Fantastic food, and apparently gateway to the ales, which frankly is not my favourite thing.
The ale house got its name from local boy William Craven, who at 14 years old left the village with nothing to seek his fortune in London. Years later, he was said to be worth millions in today's money and held the office of the Mayor of London, securing his status as a legend in these parts, just like the current landlord, David.
Hey, David.
Hello, Claire.
Good to meet you. And I'm
And
so
you.
excited to hear a bit about this pub, because this is a proper historic building.
It certainly is. It goes back to about 1600, but it was built as a farmhouse, not as a pub. All the pubs in the Dales were farmhouses originally, and they just gradually became pubs. What would happen is that the wife of the house would start brewing ale in the kitchen and serving it to passers-by, just to supplement the main income, which was farming. and they gradually became a pub. This was still a pub and a farm in the 1950s.
Really?
Yes, I can remember it.
And when did you first come here?
I first came in here about 50 years ago, but we've owned it for about 18, 19 years.
Now, of course, they say that Yorkshire is the land of flatcaps and ferrets. Well, this charming little boozer has achieved global notoriety for both, having been featured in the Wall Street Journal for its annual ferret race.
Well, we actually invented ferret racing about 50 years ago, and it's developed from that. And the people come from all over for it, and it's just unbelievably popular. We never thought it would be as popular as it is.
It's a cracking place, honestly. One small issue, though. I don't have a drink yet.
That's a local beer, Henton Pale Ale.
OK.
Dark Horse Brewery. And that is apple tree wick cider, which is made at the farm just over the road.
Oh, lovely. And that, you said, is a still cider?
It's a still cider, it's proper cider. What do you think?
I think that's nice.
It is nice.
But I think if I had 2 more sips of that, I'd fall over. Now, I'm not an ale or lager or beer drinker.
Well, you should be.
Righto. I'm trying to think, I've got to say something. I like that better than, and this is a huge compliment, I like that better than any other one I've ever drunk.
Well, there you are, you see.
But, you know. Now, they say you shouldn't mix your drinks, and maybe they're right.
Oh, my word. Oh, we've got ferrets. This is Aria.
Because this is all getting a bit surreal.
She's very tiny.
Hello, Aria.
Friend. And this one's Nobby.
Nobby.
I told him.
Yeah, so hold him like that and that.
Yeah, just don't
Nobby. All right.
What would you enjoy smelling a ferret?
Smelling a ferret.
Yes, they've got very distinctive smell. Can you smell it?
Oh, I can smell?
Yeah.
You will smell a ferret. It's not unpleasant.
Oh, I beg to differ. Nice meeting you, Nobby.
These end up as petting ferrets.
Right.
And I'm not being funny. They are just so soft.
I'm told that the fancy for ferrets came from Yorkshire coal miners who used to compete over who could keep a ferret down their trousers the longest. That's a step too far for me.
And your auntie,
Sweet, they are lovely.
Look at this, the way it's nestling.
Yeah.
You're a little darling.
Well, that's something I wasn't expecting, I have to say. Trying ale, obviously, don't do that very often. The cider's good, though, and who knew I'd get to handle a ferret? It's just your average night out in Wharfdale. I stink. Time for a shower. Then I'll be moving on to discover a riverside town that's been named as one of the best places to live in the country. Do you mind if I ask you guys what is great about living here?
Oh, what's not to like? It's such a beautiful place.
I'm following the path of one of my favourite rivers, the Wharfe, as it heads southeast from its source high up in the Yorkshire Dales. And I've reached the most wondrous section of this riverbank. The River Wharfe has brought me here to the Bolton Abbey estate. It's 30,000 acres, owned and managed by the Devonshire family. And it's the only wooded area on the River Wharfe. It stretches for 5 miles through this estate, and it has drawn visitors for centuries, and you can see why, you can feel why. The estate was founded on the banks of the Wharfe in the 12th century by a small group of monks. The highlight of the whole estate, the headline maker, if you like, is the historic Bolton Abbey, one of the most impressive ruins anywhere in the country. It's framed by ancient woodland, the river coming sweeping past it. We've Henry VIII to thank for reducing the abbey to a ruin, having launched a campaign to destroy this and all the rest of the Catholic abbeys in England. But its eerie appeal is what draws so many visitors today, many of whom might be interested in this fact I learned. Remember the nursery rhyme, Hey Diddle Diddle? Well, legend has it that the head of Bolton Abbey, Prior Moon, was diddled over the sale of a cow. And these two laughing dogs on the side of the abbey, just up there, are supposed to represent the locals who were tickled by the tale. Other quirky things remain too.
The stepping stones behind me would have been the only way that medieval monks living and working at the priory could have crossed the river. Nowadays, there is a footbridge, so only the brave have to venture across the steps.
And I'm not feeling that brave today. This is the easier route, taking me deeper into this vast estate. Hugging the banks of the river is the majestic Strid Wood.
Hello.
Hi, Claire.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Guiding me to its best spots is Mark, who has the wonderful title of River Keeper.
What a fantastic spot.
It's magical, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
You never lose that sense of awe when you actually find the Strid. It's a pretty special place.
Responsible for maintaining 5 miles of the river flowing through this estate, Mark knows this stretch of the wharf better than anyone.
That section up there, where almost the river disappears and it's all rocks, what's that?
It's iconic, Claire. That is what we refer to as the Strid, a major feature of the river wharf and very unique.
This area may look as if it's straight out of a fairy tale, but the spectacular Strid is a place of peril. Here, the rushing river is forced into a narrow channel between the rugged rocks on each side.
Now, this is spectacular. This is one of the most dramatic spots on not just this river, but probably any river anywhere in the world.
Yeah, it's very unique.
The moss on the rocks just makes it all feel alive, like a living being, which it is. And the river's channeling in now to such a narrow, deep sort of vortex.
You can only imagine what the underneath looks like. Caverns, caves, it's quite scary and magical.
Presumably some people do foolishly try and jump to the other side.
They do. Thankfully, most of the time they get away with it. But unfortunately, it has got a record of being one of the most dangerous rivers in the UK, purely for this feature alone. And it's quite easily in wet conditions for people to get close to the edge and slip and won't take any prisoners.
In fact, the Strid has claimed the lives of a number of people over the centuries. For those who remain respectful of the potential danger, this is a place of wonder.
Over thousands and years, it's been a draw to people. It's got that sort of cathedral feeling to it, the noise and the enclosure of it. There's something relaxing about the place.
And also just that constant, you know, that constant music of the river.
It's always there.
Yeah.
It's always there.
God, it's lovely. It's really fabulous.
The Strid is just enchanting. And it's certainly the highlight for me on this extraordinary stretch of river.
If you had to characterise the River Wharf, what would you say its personality is?
That's a good question. Yeah. At times it's a very kind river, a beautiful river. Most of the time, she's a gentle beast, but she can get very angry.
Which is why you've got to treat her right.
Yes.
It's a bit like me, especially when I'm hungry. Thankfully, this part of the river has one more treat in store for me.
Beautiful spot like this draws the visitors, which means you get a cafe. And a cafe means a really good cup of Yorkshire tea. And a Yorkshire delicacy, because this is curd tart.
It's a sweet cheesecake with currants wrapped in short crust pastry.
It's got a really nice little kick. You can just leave me here, I'm really happy.
Oh, yeah. I want to stay, but I can't. It's time to get going to my next destination. A few miles downstream from Bolton Abbey, and the river is wider, it's shallower, it's forming its character, and it is central to this place. Ilkley, recently voted the best town to live in the whole of the UK. Described by one major newspaper as a town that dazzles, not least for its scenery, Ilkley ticks all the boxes. And then some, if you consider its other claim to fame. It was originally the home of one of the most famous and popular gardeners in the country. Someone I admire and like hugely. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, that's very kind.
This is the Alan Titchmarsh Rose.
Great son of Ilkley.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It smells nice, and so does Alan. He is genuinely one of the nicest men in television.
He's a good supporter of us here in the park. Yeah.
So you're all volunteers?
We're all volunteers, yeah. Everybody volunteers. And we're here a couple of times a week.
So Alan Titchmarsh grew up here, and what was his first job?
His first job was as an apprentice in the Parks Department. So that's where he developed his interest in gardening and working outside.
So he'd have worked in here?
He'd have worked in this very park, yeah. This would be one of the main parks that he'd work in, yeah.
How important do you think having really well-kept open space next to the river is to the people who live here?
It's vital. I mean, it's such a key part of the town, and it's such a focal part for people to come down to. And the river is a bit of a magnet.
For some, the magnetic pull of this mesmerising river has been felt from as far away as the other side of the world.
Hi, Claire.
Hey, Jono. Local author Jono Ellison now lives in Malaysia, but to keep his connection to the river, he was inspired to write a book about it called Walking the Wharf.
I grew up here in Boston Spa, which is a bit downstream from here, and I've always had this kind of obsession, I would say, with the river, so I thought I'd walk the whole length of it.
How far is it then if you walk the whole thing?
So it's 65 miles. I did that over 5 days with a tent on my back.
And do you think you're even more passionate about it because you've been and lived elsewhere and come back again?
Yeah, definitely. Someone told me it's almost like a metaphor for my homesickness, the reason I wrote this book about the river here. I just love that it has almost like a personality that's like a person's life almost. Up in the Dales, it's really small and energetic, and you've got all these other little streams that join it and sort of add to it as a person or as a river. And then as you get further downstream, it gets bigger and it gets more serene and kind of set in its ways.
Now, I know that Ilkley has got a reputation as being one of the best places to live in the UK. So sell me Ilkley. What's so special about it?
Well, Ilkley's got the beautiful Ilkley Moor in the background, but then you've also got the river that runs right through the middle. And there's these lovely parks next to it. It's sort of halfway up the river, so it's not too wild, but it's not too kind of calm and serene.
It sounds like the river plays its part, and there are plenty of people out enjoying it today. It's so busy, isn't it? I mean, kids everywhere in the playground, the cafe back there, live band playing, it's all
Yeah, it's lovely, and then the moor overlooking it all.
Oh, yeah. Do you mind if I ask you guys what is great about living here?
Oh, what's not to like? It's such a beautiful place. We're so lucky. The wharf is just amazing, right the way from the Dales, right the way down, further downstream. So
the Dales are lovely to walk on, you know, and visit. Very nice.
I think you've sold it. You've sold it well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, nice to see you. Bye.
It's unanimous today. But Ilkley's popularity actually stretches back centuries, thanks to the river.
There are quite a few spa towns around here. Boston Spa, where I grew up, Harrogate and Ilkley. So people have been coming here to take the water, the healing water, for many years. But the Victorians really made it popular, especially with the coming of the railway. They all decided to come and take the healing waters. And there's a great quote that they used to have in Ilkley that a walk on Ilkley Moor is worth a bottle of the best champagne. So it was very much like a health cure thing.
And people still come back. I mean, not necessarily for the spa, but for this water, for the river.
That's right. There's a first designated swimming spot just a bit downstream from here. And yeah, it's very nice on days like this.
I have to say, it looks very inviting. It is beautiful. This river is full of surprises. As I bid a fond farewell to one riverside garden, I'm heading to another, which might just be the most spectacular in the country. I'm coming towards the end of my Yorkshire adventure, as the River Wharfe has brought me east to a jewel in the beautiful landscape. This magnificent stately home is Harewood House. Home to the Lassells family for over 250 years, built in the 18th century as a statement of power and wealth. But before I go and have a nose around inside, I want to go and explore the gardens, because not only are they beautiful, they also were masterminded by the great landscape gardener of Georgian times, Lancelot Brown, known as Capability Brown, and it is said that the River Wharfe inspired much of his thoughts here. Known for his quintessentially English signature style, Capability Brown contributed to the design of some of the country's most striking gardens, from Blenheim Palace to Hampton Court. It took him over 6 years to complete his ambitious vision here at Harewood, and these spectacular results became the envy of many large estates of the time. Head gardener Trevor has the job of maintaining them today. So, Trevor, how much do you admire the work of Capability Brown and his vision?
Immensely. I mean, he was a genius, really a landscape genius. In many ways, he really brought out the best of the landscape at Harewood.
The amazing thing here with this lake, which is vast,
Yeah.
is he's made it look like a river. It doesn't look like an ornamental lake.
Well, without doubt, in my mind, he wanted to create this great river, or the feeling that a great river runs through the valley. And of course you can see it, and he's using the audible sounds from the cascade to create this idea that the river is here.
And you watch dragonflies just skimming over the water.
Yes.
See the swans in the distance. And
Yeah, it has that ceaseless flow, so there is that essence of timelessness.
Brown really was a genius at work here. So his nickname, did that come from him being able to do so many different jobs all at the same time?
My understanding is that capability came from the fact that he was a genius at teasing out the capabilities of the landscape. He would say that, yes, this landscape has capabilities, and he would explain what those capabilities were, hence the name.
Brilliant. But the lake isn't the only part of the garden with a connection to the river. So, Trevor, this is the Himalayan garden. What's the story behind it?
Well, it was originally part of Brown's design from the 18th century, but in the 1930s it was redeveloped on a theme that was more or less oriental. And it is a very, very calming place to be.
And this water flows into the River Wharfe?
It does, yes. Again, part of Brown's design. And I think that's what gives the Himalayan garden its real charm. To have a river in a garden, it's amazing.
I saw stepping stones earlier today that looked very precarious. These ones at least are dry on top, and you have all of them.
Those are quite a nice, easy gap in between. You can actually walk over those rather than have to stride over them.
Well, he makes it look so easy, but I'm not so sure. I've lost my nerve! I really don't like it. What is wrong with me? Seriously? Pathetic. Literally frozen.
Do you want me to hold your hand coming across?
You sure?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, all right, go. Okay, I've got it. I'm okay now. 1, 2, 3. God, that was pathetic.
That was good.
Ah, relief. I'm a little bit embarrassed. That, for me, was nearly a step too far, so I'm leaving the gardens and heading indoors. Harewood House is thought to be one of the most important historic houses in England. Its curator, Becky, is showing me around. Oh, hello. Oh, wow. Talk about a room with a view.
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it? Statement of power as you walk into this room. And this is where obviously you would have greeted the family as well. So they're presenting themselves as the sort of purveyors of this entire landscape. It's about the Lascelles family showing land is power.
It is impressive, but where did the money come from? In the midst of all this grandeur, we've got two dusty old bottles. What's this about?
Yeah, so these are Harewood rum bottles, and they were found in the cellars here at Harewood about a decade ago. It's officially the oldest rum in the world. And we think the rum that was in them was about 200 years old. We think that this rum was almost certainly made on one of the Lascelles family's plantations, and therefore made by enslaved individuals.
Sugar plantations in the Caribbean were a thriving business hundreds of years ago for entrepreneurial families like the Lascelles, allowing them to live a life of luxury, but at a terrible human cost.
Obviously, we need to be honest, and that's really important. The Lascelles family, as well as Harewood House Trust, who now care for the house, it's about actually ensuring that we represent that history and we engage with the legacy of slavery today as well. And, we can change the future, but we can't change the past.
Before I leave Harewood, Becky wants to show me the room that says it all about the Lascelles' desire for power and standing. Oh, wow, OK. I was not expecting that.
By far the grandest room in the house, and again, it's designed to give you that overwhelming sense of grandeur.
And for who? Designed for who?
Basically for royalty. So only members of the royal family would have slept in this bed. The funny thing is, this bed we know was the most expensive piece of furniture that Chippendale ever made, but it was only ever, we think, slept in twice. So Edwin Lascelles, when he built this house, he wasn't an earl, he was plain Mr. Lascelles, yet he had to have a state bedroom to welcome the royal family, perhaps in the hope, that
just in case they were passing.
Exactly, yeah.
The whole idea of building a state bedroom because you think that the royal family might come and stay. I might build one for George Clooney just in case.
just
in case he comes to stay. It'll be just for him.
Yeah.
That's left me something to think about. Rather like this whole journey. But it's not quite over yet. Weatherby Bridge behind me, one of the magnificent arched bridges that cross the River Wharfe. And I've come here because I've been promised one last treat from Otley Brass Band. Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Nice to meet you.
And you. So, am I going to get a bit of a treat?
Yeah, so we've got a little arrangement of Ilkley Moor Batat for you today, and I'm really excited to show you it.
And can I ask you something? Do you think it's going to sound even better because we're so close to the River Wharfe?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Listening to a brass band on the banks of the River Wharfe, playing the unofficial anthem of Yorkshire. What could be more wonderful than that? Woo! And do it again with feeling. I've been blown away by the wonder of the ever-changing River Wharfe. From its glorious fishing spots... Oh, my God! Come here! To its deeply peaceful presence. I've felt the warmth of the people who live by it. Even the furry ones. I stink. I will let you into a secret. I was very keen that we should cover the River Wharfe in this series because of the landscape that it passes through, because of what we've discovered, its character, its personality. Now, this is spectacular. And for me, standing on the Strid near Bolton Abbey with those moss-covered rocks on the other side is a vision I will keep, but more than anything, it's It's the music of this river that I will hear forever.